Live from Cool Studios, this is koolNews Early Edition.
Good morning and welcome to koolNews Early Edition. Let's begin with the headlines. Police authorities in Sulu confiscated over 17 million pesos and smuggled cigarettes in two separate operations this week. Brigadier General Traxi Tanggawan, Director of Police Regional Office and Bangsamoro Autonomous Region, said on Friday some 5.6 million pesos worth of smuggled cigarettes were seized in Pakikul town after a resident alerted the police about the contrabands being unloaded in the coastal village. Police operatives who responded to the tip found a man unloading some 97 boxes of contraband cigarettes believed to be from Malaysia. The unidentified man was arrested and detained, Tangka Juan said. On Wednesday, two minors were also arrested in Barangay Kabataan in Danan town, and some 210 boxes of assorted smuggled cigarettes worth over 12 million pesos seized from them. Tangka Juan said the minors are now under the custody of Indandan police pending investigation, while the confiscated contrabands are set for turnover to the Bureau of Customs. In light of numerous recent apprehensions of smuggling activities, we send a clear and unequivocal message to violators. It is time to cease your unlawful practices, Tangka Juan said. BARMM is unwavering in its commitment to eradicating smuggling and will continue to intensify its operations until this illegal trade is completely stopped, Tangka Juan added. He lauded the Sulu police units and the concerned citizens for helping in combating smuggling by alerting police authorities. Kabataan perils challenged Senator Bato de la Rosa to participate in the drug war probe, saying that he is accountable to the Filipino people. Stare your victims in the eye during the hearing, Senator. We dare you. If you truly love your country, you would not turn a blind eye to the clamor of thousands of families victimized seeking justice, said Kabataan perils Executive Vice President Rini Ko in a statement released Saturday. Ko added that evidence of your key role in this massacre of youth in the name of the war on drugs is mounting and undeniable. Even international authorities have taken notice. The International Criminal Court launched a probe into the extrajudicial killings during the administration of former President Rodrigo Duterte, where De La Rosa served as the chief of the Philippine National Police. De La Rosa has recently denied the allegations of House Deputy Minority Leader Franz Escudero that he is avoiding drug war hearings behind interparliamentary courtesy, or the tradition where upper and lower houses in the Congress do not meddle with each other's affairs. Castro also pointed out the inconsistent stance of the senator on courtesy, recalling how the senator invited Representative Raul Manuel to attend Senate hearings. Anyway, let's let them say what they want against me. After all, it is our people to whom I am accountable and answerable, not to a brat, said De La Rosa. Ko also told De La Rosa to grow up, citing that your tendrils against our efforts to ensure justice is top-tier, corrupt behavior, disgraceful for a senator, let alone a self-proclaimed patriot. The group also called for answers and accountability on the drug war, where a report recorded a total of 6,250 deaths in police operations from June 2016 to May 2022, while human rights groups claimed that the true death toll was over 20,000 from June 2016 to June 2022. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. asked the Armed Forces of the Philippines personnel to guarantee a peaceful election for the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region for August and Mindanao. The BARMM parliament elections, which is the first in the region, will be held with the 2025 national and local elections. We need to have peaceful elections in the upcoming voting season, Marcos said on Friday. This is important because we need to say that these members of the parliament were elected lawfully, he added. The chief executive made this statement in his visit to Camp Terradulfo Bautista in Jolol, Sulu. Marcos said that a good election will translate to a good government operation in the region, as well as in the promotion of peace. We know that a good election is important, which will result in good governance in the BARMM after the elections, he said. That is all in the interest of peace. We do want this because we want peace to continue in this era, the southern Philippines. We do not want to see the kind of fighting that we saw many decades ago, he added. In addition, Marcos also advised of threats that may be posed by insurgent groups in the area. Now, that doesn't mean that the mission is over. As you can imagine, there are still those that may still organize terror again that we need to be on guard against there, the president said. So we just have to keep vigilant and to continue to watch what is going on and to make sure that everything happens is monitored. He added. Environmental officials lauded a farmer in Cotabato province for saving a juvenile Philippines serpent eagle, which is called Ispilornis Pilos, which was released back to the wild on Wednesday. Forester Abdul Nakib Ringa Kia, Community Environment and Natural Resources Officer of the Department of Environment and Natural Resources DENR based in Matalam Town, said the acts of Jimmy Sidang should set an example to all on how to treat the country's wildlife, especially the endangered ones. Ringia urged the public to report any wildlife concerns to the DENR or to the nearest municipal environment and natural resources office. Ringia said that on June 28, 2024, Sidang, a resident of Sitio Salingsing, Barangay Makaalam of Macbeth Town, found the juvenile raptor on his farm in Sitio Makasang, unable to fly. Worried over his safety, Sidang said he took the raptor home and cared for it for 2 days. When he saw that the bird had regained strength, Sidang said that he then informed the town's environment officials about it. Sidang told Macbeth acting MENORO really Budi that the raptor was weak and soaking wet when he found it. To ascertain the bird's health, Budi brought it to Dr. Milceline P. Renido, Macbeth Municipal Veterinarian, for examination. Renido said the eagle measures 48.26 centimeters in wingspan, with a height of 34.8 centimeters and a weight of 1,000 grams. And based on the results of her assessment, Renido issued a veterinary health certificate stating that the wildlife was in good health and fit to be released back into its natural habitat. DENR Saskatchewan Regional Director Felix Alicer said the rescue of the eagle in Macbeth shows that the agency's efforts to educate the public about saving endangered birds is paying off. President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. on Saturday congratulated the newly elected Prime Minister of the United States Kingdom as he expressed hopes for strengthened ties between London and Manila. In a post on X, formerly Twitter, Marcos sent his congratulations to Keir Starmer, who was elected as the UK's new Prime Minister on July 5. On behalf of the Philippines, I extend my warmest congratulations to the Labour Party and Keir_Starmer, Marcos wrote. We wish the new government success and look forward to further strengthening our deep and long-standing ties, he added. Starmer, who is from the Labour Party, succeeded former Vice Prime Minister Rishi Sunak. Starmer's victory ended the 14 years of Conservative leadership in the UK, which started from the term of former Prime Minister David Cameron up to Sunak. And now for the fuel prices. Well, the prices of petroleum products are expected to continue their upward trend by as much as 1.5 pesos per liter next week, according to forecasts from industry players. Based on an advisory from UniOil posted Saturday, the per liter increase in diesel may range from 40 centavos to 70 centavos. Gasoline, meanwhile, may rise by 1.30 pesos per liter to 1.50 pesos per liter. Projections from the Department of Energy also show the following possible upward adjustments on fuel products: 1.25 pesos per liter to 1.50 pesos per liter for gasoline, 40 centavos to 60 centavos per liter for diesel, and 60 centavos to 80 centavos per liter for kerosene. The projected figures were higher than last week's increases. Once fuel retailers implement these increases, next week could mark the fourth consecutive week of upward price adjustments. Rodela Romero, director of the DOE's Oil Industry Management Bureau, still attribute the continuous spike in oil prices on external factors: geopolitical tensions in the Middle East, and unexpectedly large withdrawals in the U.S. crude inventories, and optimistic forecasts for summer fuel demand have all contributed to pushing price in all products higher, she said in a statement. Amid a series of price hikes, DOE data showed the year-to-date total adjustments for gasoline, diesel, and kerosene already stand at a net increase of 9.25 pesos per liter, 8.40 pesos per liter, and 1.75 pesos per liter, respectively. And Tokyo's top diplomat underscored the need for stronger Japanese and Philippine cooperation to help strengthen the free and open international order based on the rule of law. She meets with Filipino counterparts for a key meeting in Manila that seeks to elevate bilateral relations, especially in the security and economic fronts. In a statement released through the Japanese embassy, Foreign Minister Yoko Kamikawa framed the second Japan-Philippines Foreign and Defense Ministerial meeting on July 8 as being crucial for charting a path toward strategic synergy between the two nations. Kamikawa, her country's first female foreign minister in 20 years, noted how the relationship had made remarkable progress in a wide array of areas, reaching a new high when Prime Minister Fumio Kishida visited Manila and addressed Congress in November 2023. Kishida, she said, expressed his determination to elevate the heart-to-heart ties established by our predecessors to new heights and pass them on to the next generation. The warm applause from the audience filling the hall demonstrated the depth of the ties between our two countries. I hope that my visit to the Philippines will further develop our bilateral relationship based on this solid foundation. High on the meeting's agenda is the draft Reciprocal Access Agreement (RAA) for holding joint military exercises on either country's soil. Last week, Armed Forces of the Philippines Chief General Romel Bronner Jr. said the RAA is expected to be signed in the meeting after 7 months of negotiations. Kamikawa said both sides have made steady progress toward the conclusion of the RAA as well as the provision of warning and control radios, coastal surveillance radios, and launch patrol vessels. It is very timely to review such progress and confirm ways forward for future cooperation at this 2+2 meeting. I look forward to fruitful discussion with Philippine Foreign Secretary Manalo and Defense Secretary Teodoro, she added. As the world faces a historic turning point, cooperation between our two countries, strategic partners which are both maritime nations and share fundamental values and principles, is essential to maintain and strengthen the free and open international order based on the rule of law. Citing substantive developments in economic cooperation, Kamikawa said Japan remained the Philippines' largest donor. Its development support ranging from transportation infrastructure such as the Metro Manila subway project and Metro Rail Transit Line 3 rehabilitation project to disaster management and the Mindanao peace process. Japan will continue to help the Philippines achieve upper middle income country status through such efforts. With more than 1,400 Japanese companies operating in the Philippines, Japan stands as a major trading partner for the country. Meanwhile, the Philippines plays an important role in supply chain resilience for Japan, she said. Cultural and people-to-people exchanges continue to thrive, she said. In 2023, the number of Filipinos visiting Japan reached about 620,000, exceeding the pre-pandemic level. In addition, Filipino nurses and caregivers working under the Japan-Philippines Economic Partnership Agreement and specified skilled workers are supporting Japan's economy. Kamikawa said she would use her Manila visit to strengthen the women, peace, and security agenda, calling it my lifelong commitment. The WPS, she said, is a pursuit of a more sustainable peace through participation of women in leadership positions, humanitarian and reconstruction efforts, and the protection of vulnerable groups in times of crisis. The Japanese minister lauded the Philippines for being proactive in women's empowerment, exemplified by the active roles of female legislators and making it enormous strides in the West Philippine Sea, including developing a national action plan ahead of other Southeast Asian countries. To foster peace, stability, and economic prosperity in the Philippines and the entire region, she said the relationship with the United States, an ally for both of our countries, is also important. Recalling the first ever Japan-Philippines-US summit held in Washington in April, Kamikawa said the leaders of the three countries discussed considered directions for future cooperation primarily in the economic field and made achievements such as launching the Luzon Economic Corridor to enhance the regional connectivity. Discussions are already underway to bring these cooperation projects to fruition. During this visit, I wish to reaffirm the steady progress of trilateral collaboration, Kamikawa said. And the Philippine Red Cross has provided humanitarian assistance to more than 800,000 beneficiaries in the first half of 2024, according to data released by its operations center on Friday. PRP President Richard Gordon, in a statement, said the humanitarian group derives its strength from its 2 million dedicated selfless and compassionate volunteers all over the country. PRC Secretary General Dr. Gaywan Pang, for her part, mentioned that PRC remains committed to its mission to elevate human suffering and uplift the dignity of the most vulnerable, and will continue to be always first, always ready, and always there, especially during disasters and emergencies. Aside from PRC's volunteers across its 102 chapters nationwide, it mobilizes emergency response vehicles consisting of 179 ambulances, 48 rescue boats, 35 food trucks, 28 water tankers, 14 fire trucks, and 8 payloaders, among others. And that is all for the first gap of koolNews Early Edition. As always, we will continue with more headlines later in the second gap of koolNews Early Edition, part of Hello Pilipinas. Until then, we will be returning to Hello Pilipinas shortly. It is now 1 minute before 8.
Live from Cool Studios, this is koolNews Early Edition.
Welcome back to koolNews Early Edition. Okay, so let's continue now. Police found the bodies of missing Pampanga beauty pageant contestant Geneva Lopez and her Israeli boyfriend Shizak Cohen buried in a grassy area in a remote village here on Saturday morning, 2 weeks after the reported disappearance. A report by the Criminal Investigation and Detection Group said the bodies were exhumed from a parcel of land in Barangay Santa Lucia. Authorities, before they could dig, first secured a warrant from a local court in Tarlac, the couple's last known destination before they went missing. After the heartbreaking discovery, police now shifts to finding those responsible for the death of Lopez, age of 27, and Cohen, age of 37, said the Interior Secretary Bernard Abalos. One of the officials will confirm the identity of the bodies. Police source said family members of the missing couple also made a positive identification based on their clothes and physical features. The bodies were brought to Lotos Funeral Home in Barangay San Vicente, Tarlac City, for autopsy and DNA analysis. Beyond reported missing on June 21, Lopez and Cohen were last seen alive when they left the residence in Malabañas, Ancala City. Initial investigation showed that they were supposed to meet a middleman for the purchase of a 20.5 hectare agricultural land in Armenia, Tarlac City. On June 22, the sport utility vehicle was found abandoned and burned at Barangay Cristo Rey and Capas, Tarlac. In the media interview on Friday, Cohen's older brother Yannick clarified that the couple went to Tarlac not to inspect the land but to already get the title to the property, which he said the couple had already bought several years back. In its report, the CIDG said a witness had cooperated with the police and pinpointed the location of the bodies in a piece of land owned by a certain Mr. Pamintuan. The makeshift grave itself was located within a quarrying site in Barangay Santa Lucia, according to a separate statement from the Philippine National Police, that CIDG's Mother's Unit. A search warrant issued on July 5 by Judge Edwin Sungam Bonifacio of Tarlac City Regional Trial Court 111 allowed authorities to proceed with the examination in the presence of Santa Lucia Village Chief Casaria David Pudisa Jr. and Councilman Ronald Pachico, the CIDG said. The bodies were found a day after the PNP said it had identified a former police officer and 6 civilians as persons of interest in the case. The Lopez and Cohen families earlier offered a cash reward totaling 500,000 pesos for information that could lead to a couple's whereabouts. Angeles City Mayor Carmelo Lazatin Jr. offered a separate 100,000 pesos reward. This heartbreaking discovery underscores our unwavering resolve to bring justice to all victims, Apollo said in the PNP statement. We will not rest until those responsible are held accountable. Justice will be served. We are committed to ensuring that justice prevails, not just in this case, but in all instances where the innocent suffer, Apollos added. Given the same assurance, PNP Chief General Romel Francisco Marbel also commended the Special Investigation Task Group formed for the case for being instrumental in piecing together the events leading to the couple's disappearance and ensuring that every lead was meticulously followed. Their efforts have been crucial in bringing this case to light, and their work continues as the investigation proceeds, Marbel said. And now for international headlines. Labour on Friday secured a huge majority in the UK's general election, giving it a massive mandate but also a few headaches once celebrations died down. Before the vote, the Conservatives warned voters not to hand Labour Party leader Keir Starmer the blank cheque of a supermajority, but as Prime Minister, he will now have a majority of over 170 and 5 years up against a demoralized main opposition. The main advantages are clarity. It means the government of the day can get on with its program unhindered and ex-cumbered. Tony McNulty, lecturer at Queen Mary University of London and the Labour Minister under Tony Blair, told AP. The trumping win also gives Labour a nice reservoir of talent with which to fill government roles, a bit with the risk of disappointing more MPs who miss out, said McNulty, who became an MP during Labour's 1997 landslide. However, a supermajority does not have any constitutional significance in the UK as it does in the United States, explained King's College London professor Vernon Bogdanor. A government with a majority authority can do more or less what it wants, just as much as the government with a majority of 200, said Bogdanor, one of the country's leading constitutional experts. Some of the potential problems that Starmer will need to manage stem from twerks of the UK's first past the post electoral system and fragmentation of its political landscape, which have conspired to produce one of the most unequal results in electoral history. The system doesn't work very well when you have got so many parties, said Bogdanor. Labour looks set to win fewer votes than it did in its disastrous 2019 election, but gain around 210 more seats in the 650-seat parliament thanks to the fractured right-wing opposition. Only around 1 in 3 voters chose Labour, leaving Starmer having to balance the wants of his army of MPs and the public that is, paradoxically, not particularly enthusiastic for the incoming government. Starmer's approval ratings are some of the lowest for an incoming prime minister, with polls by Ipsos and YouGov in May showing them at -18 and -20 points. It's a punishment election. People simply want to punish the Conservatives, said Bogdanor. Expectations are high for improvement in the health service and other services, but they won't come about quickly. And the fiscal situation is very dear. Most people agree that the NHS, or National Health Service, is in very serious trouble. What is going to be done? He asked, adding that tax rises appeared inevitable. All sorts of other improvements need to be made in the public service, the environment, sewage in the rivers and seas, housing policy, school repairs. It's a great dilemma for an incoming government. So there will be rapid disillusionment, and particularly people on the left will attack the government he won. McNulty said the public will initially give the government the benefit of the doubt, but how long that lasts is a moot point. As a result, Starmer will hope will hope to focus on issues that unite the party and are popular with the public. The most obvious one would be eliminating the two-child benefit cap, which McNulty said was problematic, totemic internally and could deliver immediate results in tackling poverty. Potential wage issues include Gaza, where there is pressure from the left wing to take a tougher stance on Israel, and immigration, where the public support harder policies that Labour MPs are opposed to. Having such a large majority will also give Labour MPs, most of whom have never been politicals before, the convenience they can rebel in large numbers without inflicting defeat on the government. Often with a large majority, there is more scope for disaffection, so it is not always good to win a landslide, said Bogdanor. In order to ensure harmony, McNulty advised Starmer to accept that dissenting voices need to be at least recognized and given space. And the last headline for KOOLNews early edition this morning: Tokyo residents vote Sunday to elect a new governor for the Japanese capital, with incumbent Yuriko Koike challenged by opposition figure Ren Ho, two prominent women in the country's male-dominated political sphere. Japan has never had a woman prime minister, and a large majority of lawmakers are men. But Tokyo, accounting for the 10th of the national population and the 5th of the economy, has been run since 2016 by former television anchor Koike, 71. While few now told the former defense and environment minister as a possible future prime minister, as many once did, polls suggest that the media-savvy conservative will win a third straight term in the metropolis of 14 million people. This will be some relief ahead of national elections due by late 2025 to the ruling Liberal Democratic Party of deeply unpopular Prime Minister Fumio Kishida, who backs Koike, even though she broke away from the LDP in 2017. The election comes after new government data showed the average number of children a woman is expected to have hit a record low of 1.2 last year, and Tokyo's figure was 0.99, the first below 1 for any Japanese region. Both Kyoke, who has campaigned with an AI version of herself, and her nearest rival, Han Ho, who goes by one name and is backed by Japan's main opposition parties, have pledged to expand support for child rearing, with Kyoke promising subsidized epidurals. After having their first child, I hear people say they don't want to experience that pain again. Koike said, according to local media, "I want people to see childbirth and raising children as a happiness, not a risk. I will implement genuine long-term fertility measures, support young people truly, and expand their life choices," Ranho said. "I will also realize transparent fiscal reforms where everyone can check the situation." Our dark horse in the race could be independent candidate Shinji Ishimaru, age 41, a former mayor of Akitakata in Western Japan. Recent polls also suggested with some swing voters preferring him over Koike and Ranho. A record 56 people are standing in the election, not all of them serious, with one dressing as the Joker and calling for polygamy to be legalized, and others campaigning for more golf, poker, or just to advertise their premises in the red light district. And that's all for the headlines right here on KOOLNews Early Edition for this morning. As always, if in case you missed the previous hour's headlines of KOOLNews Early Edition, we will be uploading the replay of KOOLNews Early Edition on Hello Pilipinas later, after this broadcast of Hello Pilipinas on TJON News YouTube channel. And we will be back with more headlines later with KOOLNews at noon, KOOLNews at 4 p.m., 6 p.m., and KOOLNews Prime Time at 9 p.m. Until then, I am Aspir, and this has been KOOLNews Early Edition. And now we will return to Hello Pilipinas shortly.